Like we're gonna.
That's not much better
I
out
did.
there, though.
Yeah, we'll be here.
It's not cold.
Yeah, this is warm.
Okay. We'll go ahead with number one. I'm reporting on financials from September 23rd. Resolution 15-137, as approved by the County Administrator pursuant to a motion approved December 30th, 2014, to authorize the County Administrator to execute in case of lack of quorum and or if sessions canceled, required approvals for financials on behalf of the Board on the year 2015, as authorized by 305.30. This was simply a contract encumbrance to Great Lakes, or for Great Lakes growers, for that local revolving loan that you approved last week in the amount of $250,000. No action. Just report.
The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute the minutes for the meeting of September 22nd, 2015.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Bickle?
How do you use that thing?
It is.
Okay.
Yep. Was I here for this? That was last week, right?
Yes. We finally got caught up
Yeah.
last week.
Okay, the financials today include the cash transfers out of the general fund for portions of 2015 funding for the Sheriff's 911 Fund and the 800 Communications Fund. We have one then and now certificate for the county home. Travel request for the Department of Job and Family Services. The payment that Dave mentioned to Great Lakes Growers for the local revolving loan distribution for the Office of Community and Economic Development in the amount of $250,000. And payments totaling $13,029.63 to Logos Communication for the Next Gen Firewall software maintenance for the ADP board.
Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute resolution number 15-138, itemizing the financials for the meeting of September 29th, 2015.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier? Commissioner Bickle?
Thanks, Heidi. Going down the wrong channel there.
8.5.
It's free coffee day today, Beans, by the way.
I think Dunkin' Donuts, too.
Oh, yeah, it's coffee day.
And the reason for that is they're trying to get rid of John Russ or what?
Trying to get you into beans.
Get you hooked on caffeine.
National Coffee Day.
National Coffee Day.
National Coffee Day.
Today is National Vodka Day.
I was going to make a comment on that one once. Okay, good.
Deborah comments.
Yep. Deb, you want to come up? This is the last time we're going to see
Good
you.
morning. I thought you were choked up because I'm retiring.
I didn't want to tell everybody.
Yeah. I brought with me today Ed Warsaw, who is the new library director,
Hi, Ed.
Mr. Claypool, Mr. Trevor.
How are you? I know we met the other night, so nice to see you.
Wow, that's a long one.
I was going to climb up on the table.
I wanted to know his face because I know when I walked into rooms during the last 30 years that people know libraries around, and I think now that Ed's here, when he walks in, he'll know libraries around. I'm thrilled with the choice that the library board made. I didn't have anything to do with it. They selected an outside firm, and then they interviewed many candidates, and got down to their favorite. And I'm thrilled because I've known Ed for several years, and I used to pick his brain every 3 or 4 months. We'd go to lunch in Middlefield or somewhere, and I was amazed that he was able to take his last library he worked at, which is Henderson Memorial in Jefferson, from 700 people coming to programs in 1 year to 12,000 2 years later. So he really hit a nerve with that community in Ashtabula, and I'm thrilled that he's here, and he's glad to tell you about himself if you want to know anything.
that kind of a growth, if we do that here, are we going to need to build a new building? If we take what we have now and you increase it by that number, we're in trouble.
I think it's a management thing. I think, the buildings are there. We're kind of unique. The more you use us, the better it is. It doesn't. The more books you borrow, the more things you come in to do. It doesn't cost us anymore. It doesn't cost us anymore. So we encourage lots and lots of participation at the libraries.
Yeah, it was just simply allowing the staff to do what they really were good at, and it took them only a couple of years, and really opened up programming, and the budget of Henderson was significantly less by many degrees, and everything we did was pretty much free, but we managed to make things happen. And by using folks in the community and using the talent that the staff had. Really
Empowering your staff.
Yeah, it was
great idea.
I mean, it was all them. They really
right.
That's shot.
Well, good luck to you, and you got a really tough act to follow.
Oh, yeah, no.
So how long were you doing that?
Well, I spent the first 20 years in Willowick, then I was 22 years in Columbus. Again, I worked at Columbus Metropolitan Library, and I worked at Ohio State University Moritz Law Library for 3 years. And then I came up here in 2010. I've been here, I'm still in Ashtabula. I live in Pierpont. We have a 7-acre farm, but I intend to move to Geauga as soon as I heat with wood, and I cut a lot of wood, and I don't want to just leave it behind. After all that work, I want to burn that wood this winter. And
Just hold it against you coming from Ashtabula.
Oh, yeah.
Is your brother a commissioner in Ashtabula?
He is.
So your brother's Dan, okay. And I work with Dan and all the commissioners over there and the folks, because I was in Jefferson, Tennessee, so they were all
from Pierpont. You'll save a lot of money in travel expenses if you move over here.
It's an hour each way right now. So I know.
In the good weather.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like Ashtabula and Geauga.
Not a lot of gridlock though on that road.
No. Some Amish buggies on my road, and that's semis.
So you'll stay there, you think, then, Pierpont?
Oh no, I intend to move to Geauga.
Really?
Yeah, in spring.
Okay.
I don't want to try to do that moving in the winter, especially now Pierpont winter, which is even worse than Chard. So,
very nice.
Well, I hope that some of you will stop by tomorrow when we have the farewell and the Chapman Award. It's been a rewarding career, and I believe that Geauga is just the right size. It's small enough that we know one another and can cooperate and do magnificent things, but it's large enough that we have resources to make a big impact on our system. So I've had a heck of a ride here in Geauga. I've been here 30 years, but 48 years in libraries. So it's time for me to enjoy my retirement.
Well, and you have some immediate retirement plans, don't you, with traveling?
Yeah, I do. My mother had a stroke 2 years ago. We bought her house in Florida. She's in Michigan now, where my sisters are. And it's in Pinellas Park near Tampa and Clearwater Beach. So we're going to take a little cruise in November, just 4 days over to Cozumel and back with my children and my grandson and my sister. So there'll be 6 of us. And then in January, my husband's best friend from high school and his wife and another couple were all going on a Southern Caribbean tour in the cruising, and then I'm getting my hip replaced the end of January. I have some things to keep me busy, and I'm interested in eventually doing some payback in Geauga, some volunteer work, but I promised my husband I'd take 6 months to a year to figure out what this retirement stuff's all about before I got into something else. Thank you all, John.
You'll love
all
it.
you. Dave, you really helped me a lot, too, over the years.
Good luck to you.
Thank you very much. And remember, you need to think he can do it for you. We've got a great staff. We're going to
let us know how we can help you all, too. So.
We will. We will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Now we'll have to meet with the Budget Commission people.
Oh.
We've already done 2 judges.
That's a fun crowd.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The first thing on the list here today is we did put out requests for proposals for our legal service program, and we did receive 2 back. And the best and lowest proposal is our current legal service provider, Schrapp & King, so we'd like to continue on with them.
The Department on Aging is requesting the board accept the proposal by Schrapp and King Company LPA to provide legal services for the 2016 Legal Services Program to Geauga residents age 16 and over.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Clickwell?
And then I'm still continuing to go through all of the job descriptions back at the agency. And, my food service coordinator, the job description was many years old, and it did not reflect that this individual was a supervisor and had staff underneath them. So I worked with Linda and I worked with Dave to kind of make the job description reflective of what this employee is actually doing. When we take a look at the Department on Aging and all of the other supervisory roles, they are graded at a 10. So this person has 2 full-time employees underneath them. So it was very appropriate to make sure that this employee is compensated because she is a supervisor at this point. So we'd like to change the grade of the job description from a 6 to a 10. And then furthermore, the employee who is in that position, she's currently at a grade 6, step 8, so we'd like to take her to a grade 10 on the first step of that.
The Department on Aging is requesting the board approve the revised job description for the position of Food Service Coordinator number 1009 to better reflect the duties of the job and further regrade the position from grade 6 to a grade 10 to be effective September 28, 2015. The Department on Aging is requesting the board approve the regrade of Karen Fuger, Food Service Coordinator number 1009 from grade 6, step 8 to grade 10, step 1 at the rate of $17.83 per hour to be effective September 28, 2015.
I'll make those motions.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Clickwell?
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Hey, Anita, how are you?
Good, how are you guys?
Good, good.
Rainy couple days.
Yeah.
We were spoiled.
Not snowing. Just saying. Just saying.
Not yet.
Yeah, there's different levels of dissatisfaction.
That's true.
And rain is not that bad.
This is the Excelligent contract, which is, if you've gone to the website, you've seen that we've tried to keep track of available buildings out there, which is kind of fruitless in the endeavor. But now there's a software program that is in real time, and it not only shows the buildings or commercial buildings or properties for sale or lease. By having the program, it gives me access to tenant information and addresses. And one of the gaps we've found in our dealing with the businesses is that we don't always get an early attempt at companies who are leasing until it's too late. They're ready to move and they can't find anything. It's really hard to find something in Geauga. There's not that much inventory or vacancies. So if I can get a hold of them a year and get on a good plan to contact tenants, manufacturing tenants a year into looks like they'll be having to renew, just to find out they need to expand. Because the worst thing is to lose an existing company. The best thing is to keep what you already have. So that's it's nice, it's convenient for businesses to go in and see what's out there, but it's the gap that will be filled in our keeping the existing businesses. So we've been able to allocate them from the in-house revolving loan program to expand that, so we don't need additional funds from the commissioners to do this program. So we're able to take it from the administration side of the revolving loan program.
Now, this is not just Geauga County.
It's just Geauga County.
The data is just Geauga County?
The only data that you can see, that anybody using it will see, is Geauga County.
Okay.
So we're not helping them find the spot in Lake County, though there's a similar program in Lake County, but they just do Lake County too. So this is just for finding properties in Geauga.
I was thinking you might be able to see people in surrounding counties whose leases might be
No.
coming up.
I guess if you've got an upgraded version that let you see the region, which I'm sure they probably do, but that is not at all of interest to us. We're just going to concentrate on Geauga, which will be interesting enough trying to keep track of the tenants and get a good program going for that.
What kind of time frame do they
This
tell
is-
you? Is it like within a week of something coming up or whatever they'll...
Yeah, they actually drive around the county. They get all the realtor listings, and they
Okay.
post those, and they actually drive around and add for sale by owners into it. And we also have the capability to add anything that we see coming up. But they actually drive around, and they have people contracted in different counties to drive and keep track and take pictures, and actually also go in and talk to tenants and find out, what they might need, and then they note it in that only I can see. Some things, only the administrator will be able to see, which is good. But anything like pictures or any specs for the building. So sometimes realtors don't put everything in their listing, and they'll drive around and say, there's space outside too. They'll even address some zoning issues too that might be pertinent to finding a spot. So it's better than what I have as far as showing what buildings are out there, and it's constantly keeping up with it. So it'll be nice for the businesses, but it'll be really good for us rounding out what we offer. So yeah. For $5,000. Yeah, it's a deal. And it's renewable every year. So if it doesn't appear that it's everything that it should be, though I'll tell you, Laura did the addendum, and they were stunned. Like, she's pretty tight. She allows. So every year we have to renew. So it'll be back before you this time next year. So.
Okay. You don't have to renew every year, but we must renew in order for it to go on.
Right. In order to.
In other words, we're not compelled.
We're not obligated to
right.
pay. Yeah.
Right.
Unless we renew. But we have to actually sign and renew again. Right. So, and we pay quarterly, so it'll be 4 times over the course of the year from here out.
The Office of Community and Economic Development is requesting the board approve and authorize the President of the Board to execute the Xceligent Agreement and Subscriber Agreement Special Conditions and Notes Addendum that will allow access to the Xceligent Geauga County Property Database to assist businesses in locating available commercial properties for lease or purchase for a 1-year period in the amount not to exceed $5,000.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier? Commissioner Claypool? Aye.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anita.
Hello there.
Good morning.
Hey, Nick.
The first item we have on here is the final change order for the Sugar and Road project. Project came in just under the amount bid, just incidental, basically to match what needs to hit the exact road conditions.
The County Engineer's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute change order number 1, final, decreasing the contract with Roniak Paving Incorporated for the asphalt resurfacing of Chagrin Road, CH9, sections 3 through E, in Bainbridge Township, in the amount of $1,808.32.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Aye. Item 10 is the final change order for the replacement of the Heath Road Bridge project. This is actually an increase of about $1,200. Upon excavating the existing structure, we ran into some underlying concrete that required some additional money to rip that out. So, again, it's $1,200, which keeps us pretty much in line. So.
The County Engineer's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute change order number 1, final, increasing the contract with Easton Leasing Incorporated for the replacement of the Heath Road bridges, structures 105-5.02 and 105-5.20 in Chester Township, in the amount of $1,187.71.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
And the last one we have today is the final change order for the resurfacing of Old State Road in Millfield and Parkland Townships. It's a decrease in the amount of approximately $35,000 from the original bid.
The County Engineer's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute change order number 1, final, decreasing the contract with Roniak Paving Incorporated for the asphalt resurfacing of Old State Road, CH6 sections B through H in Middlefield and Franklin Townships in the amount of $34,888.37.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Story?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Thank you.
Thank you. Morning.
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 How are you?
Good. Dad, how about you?
Good. These two items, 12 and 13, are really centered around just creating some better efficiencies in how we do a couple things, most particularly with Social Services Division. The first is fuel cards. This new process, having these Right Express fleet fuel cards, will allow our staff they'll be in our cards, they'll have PIN numbers, and it'll allow for our staff to be able to fuel their cars when they're out and about, doing the county cars, for when they're out and about doing home visits and traveling, and not their personal cars. Yeah. Thank you, Dina. And because now the way we have it is we really have our maintenance department that are fueling all of our cars, just, the two of them, which is quite a lot on them. This way, when they're out there, and also it'll create an efficiency with having less people asking for reimbursements and putting out their own money to fuel their cars when they're out on longer trips and they're running on empty. So it really create that kind of efficiency. We'll have PIN numbers. Each worker will have their own special numbers that we'll be able to track to make sure that they're fueling their cars properly, and cards will be in the cars in a specified place, and so it just will really help that process. And also, I think the sheriff's department, I believe, uses this system. Yeah. So it's just asked the president to execute that contract for it.
The Department of Job and Family Services is requesting the Board approve and authorize the President of the Board to execute the addendum to the Fuel Card Services Agreement between Wex Bank and the National Joint Powers Alliance, NJPA, application for Right Express free cards for the purpose of purchasing fuel.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Story? Commissioner Claypool?
Aye. So, are you getting ready for hunting season?
Looks that way.
A little extra warmth on the food.
Great, just getting ready for fall. The other one that we wanted to request was for a Walmart community account. And so similar to what Craig said, right now we do lots of different purchases for the families that we work with to try and avoid emergency situations and to try and be preventative in certain ways. And so right now a lot of times what happens is the social worker or caseworker puts the money out up front and then has to submit for reimbursement. So it could be something like child gates. We receive a call that there's a baby that's unsupervised and the family doesn't have the means to baby-proof their home. And
then when they do that, they can't get reimbursed the sales tax.
They can't get reimbursed the sales tax, and again, it's just the caseworker having to put all that money up front on their own card or cash or however it is that they're going to do that. And so what we're asking for is to have a Walmart account that would allow them to be able to go make those purchases for the families. Everything still has to be turned back in, the receipts, all of that still has to go through our encumbrance process where we have to get the funds approved before they'd be able to spend it anyway, and to make sure that it's something that either I, as supervisor, or Craig would approve as far as a purchase, but they would be able to use the Walmart account instead of having to put money up front on their own and be reimbursed that way.
Okay.
The Department of Job and Family Services is requesting the Board approve and authorize the President of the Board to execute the Walmart Community Account application for the purpose of allowing the Social Services Division to purchase needs items for clients and children.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Story?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
All right. And before Craig and Gina leave, I just want to compliment you guys on a great fundraising event the other night. A lot of compromising photos. I don't know if they're going to go up on Facebook or not, but I think one of our commissioners standing in a box was...
I still don't know how he does it. I don't know. There was a magician there, and if you've ever seen, take a box and they lock a guy in the box, and then another person stands on top of the box, picks up a fabric sleeve or cover that's circular. I mean, it's 360 degrees. Because I was standing right behind the box, and he pulled it up, and bam, he came down, and the guy that was in the box was out of it, and the guy that was standing up was in the box. I don't know. and I unlocked the lid, and I was in the box beating on the thing. I didn't see any like phony panels or something that popped open, and it that fast, and I don't know how it worked.
I thought maybe they were going to try and make Blake disappear.
For a while, I was worried that I might get locked in the box, and everybody left. I'd be in there.
I was a little disappointed in that part.
You can work on that for next year.
Yeah.
And also, just as a notice to the board and to folks that are here, Craig has volunteered, along with Sheriff Dan, along with Terry Stopeka, along with Judge Grindell, to attend a forum the 13th at Westwoods on issue 3, which is marijuana. And if this issue passes, it's going to have a dramatic detrimental effect to all of our counties in the state, but particularly in Geauga County and the drug issues we face and all that kind of stuff. I applaud his willingness to step up and be a part of that discussion so we can educate the public on this issue.
Well, so we're already seeing it impact the cases that our social workers are going out on. And Gina, hears it every day from the staff saying, "Well, look, it's on the ballot, so it must be okay." Or look, our government's passing this, and so it's not quite as serious.
Well, the advertising is very deceptive.
Well, and it's just one next layer of the onion that is trying to be peeled back when we're trying to just keep people safe. And even just little impacts, just to secondhand smoke. I mean, we don't even, secondhand marijuana smoke.
That's the thing.
Stuff, we just don't know that. I mean, the impact is.
That's the thing that amazes me because nobody brings it up. That we have one whole part of our society that's anti-smoking because of cancer and secondhand smoke and this, that, and the other thing, and they seem to be hands off of the marijuana smoking issue. It's like, oh, it's good for your health, it's this, it's that, or whatever else. And it's like, well, what about the cancer issue with this secondhand smoke? Apparently you don't get cancer from marijuana smoke.
And I don't hear a lot of people speaking up against it, and I think this is important. We have to engage the communities in a
the board knows that I will speak up.
And so we need to speak up.
I emailed the board a suggested resolution that CCAO authored, so if you would like me to get that scheduled for board consideration.
I'd be more than happy to.
And our Public Children's Services Agency had us, probably similar to you, asking what our stance is, and we made a stance that we're against it, and we actually asked our PCSAO to stand up and as a joint group to stand up against it. We're waiting to hear back from them, but they asked whether there's no agency that's for it, but probably about 70 some that would say that they're against it, and then a handful said that they were neutral. But I think a lot of those neutral counties are the ones that are aware that this stuff is going to be growing.
And I think neutral, not because they were not against it, just that didn't know if it was their place to make a stance on it.
But one of the most concerning things is that there are millions and millions of dollars out of state coming into our state to try to push this whole agenda. And so it's very concerning. I might even suggest that we ask the same group of folks to come into a commissioner meeting, our Thursday night meeting, make it a public, another public educational kind of thing. We've done that before. And so just a suggestion to the board, if you want to do it, maybe we can ask Craig and Terry and others. I mean, it's seldom that you get people of such diverse backgrounds willing to come and stand on an issue like this. And so, anyway, I just wanted the board to know about that and to recognize Craig's willingness to do that. So. And it will impact us.
I was at the zoo last year in the summertime last year, and there was they were actually inside the gates when you come in to pay for the admission to get into the zoo. They, you had to go through the parking lot. I mean, that was all Cleveland Metro Park property that you park at, and then you walk in. And you walk into this to the gates, like where there's like the posts where you pay to get in,
right turnstile.
Yeah. So like right there, as you're walking in, they had like 3 tables set up in between each one of these things for you to sign up for this petition for marijuana, to legalize marijuana in Ohio. And it was almost like, the Metro Parks was endorsing, Cleveland Metro Parks was endorsing this whole thing, and it was like, and I said something to the one guy, and I mean, he just chewed me up and down, like, mind your own business, we have a freedom. I said, I have a freedom to say what I think too, and I told him, I says, you're absolutely out of your mind. And I was shocked, because it was almost like basically the Metro Parks in Cleveland is endorsing marijuana, to legalize marijuana. It was, and what I mean, and they had these big, real professional looking banners on the front of their tables. I mean, and for the Cleveland Metro Park Zoo, you get a lot of people that go through there on the weekends, and it was like, it bothered the daylights out of me, and it was like, we are so going in the wrong direction, right? And I went to Alaska last month, and they legalized marijuana there, and it was really, really, different, because you walk down the streets, like we were in the one town called Seward, and it's a big fishing community, and they've got all these little restaurants, and it's like a tourist thing, but it's also, all the little fresh fish places. These people have like tables set outside, and as you walk down, all these people are smoking marijuana pipes, and it was like so difficult to watch. And I talked to a lot of the business owners there, and they said, if we thought that we had deadbeats before, he said, we can't find people to show up. They leave for breaks, they come back, and they're completely intoxicated from consumption of marijuana. And he says it says they're having just a hellacious time to be able to get help and just to be able to keep employees anymore. And I hope that Ohio wakes up and smells the coffee, and today it's for free, from what I understand.
But we're going to have to go take advantage of that.
But it's just amazing what was taboo 20 years ago and what's taboo now. The amount of social acceptance for things that when we were kids was just abhorrent, And
well,
so
a lot of it's based on ignorance, and that's the reason for the forums, to try and get, as Blake said, there's a lot of misleading advertising going on right now. And, I mean, with alcohol, you can get a little buzz going. With marijuana, you're either high or you're not. And so it's not like you can be a little high. You are high or you're not. There's a huge difference between those two. And I don't think people understand the significance behind this. And so hopefully we can make
another aspect of what you're saying that I'm waiting, because they're going to have to change something, which won't be a positive thing. If I went out tonight, mind you, I don't drink, but I'm saying if I went out tonight and had a few drinks, tomorrow I could come to work and be perfectly fine functioning in my job. If I went out and took drugs or smoked marijuana, I couldn't pass a drug test, which means I'd be unemployable. And the insurance company would see to it that we don't have, we have drug screening in the county, and you have drug screening probably, and every other employer has some kind of drug screening. Are the people that are going to go and vote for this, are they even thinking about the fact that I'm having a hard time getting a job now, but as soon as I start doing this, they'll take care of it. I won't be able to get a job.
Well, and the other thing was the whole economic impact of what this is going on with what was going on over there. There's what's called spice, which is synthetic marijuana. So what's happening is that it's killing people left and right because of the fact that it's a bad batch of chemicals or whatever went in to make this that ended up killing these. Like when I was there, they had like 14 deaths within like 10 days or something in this one area of what was sold of this spice, that's like synthetic marijuana. So it's like, I don't know, I just think that we're just going wacko, and it's just to think about this and then to just think what kind of direction is this going to go from this? Where are they going to go
next?
from next to next?
Right.
race to the bottom.
So would we be amenable to have the same group of folks come in on the Commissioner Thursday night meeting and talk about it? Would it be okay with you guys?
Is Ralph going to be here on the 22nd?
22nd, the last Thursday, is that the fourth Thursday? I don't have a calendar. I don't.
You mentioned you wouldn't be able to come to the middle. We were talking about the budget hearing. You weren't coming because you would be out of town.
Yeah, there wouldn't be any significant decisions made. It would be a presentation.
Yeah, it's a forum. And
Yeah, that would be. I mean, whether I'm able to make it or not, I would definitely say that you guys need to get the message out too. For sure. Yeah, whatever we can do to help that. I mean, it's.
Well, it's just, I know from at least our staff perspective, their jobs are hard enough. With the challenges that they're already facing, with heroin and stuff, and it's, there's enough challenges out there with the families that we were working with and that we're happy to work with. But this just is, again, the next layer of the onion. What's next?
Yeah, and this won't be popular to say, but as he said, with the synthetic marijuana and issues like that, if they partake in these synthetic drugs, and gosh only knows what's in it, and they die, that's very unfortunate. But if they don't die and they become incapacitated, and then we, the taxpayers, have them institutionalized or some other issue that it just, it costs the rest of us a lot of money.
And there's always going to be a black market. The thing is if they legalize marijuana, is what kind of marijuana, who's making it, but then that's not strong enough. We need someone else that's going to make something else that is illegal, and it's just going to.
What's amazing is the money though that they're putting in to push it. I'm shocked.
Well, I think the profit return on that stuff is going to be. It's going to make their investment look minimal.
It creates a monopoly in the state of Ohio because there's only 10 counties and a certain number of growers and. I mean, it's taken our state in a wholly different direction.
Yeah. Issue 2 has the ability to cancel it out if that doesn't pass.
That's
issue 2 does pass.
Yeah, if issue 2 passes, it's an anti-monopoly issue, which effectively
eliminates issue 3.
No, that's what they say, but I mean, there's going to be court cases.
Yeah, there'll be
the money that's going into this. It's going to.
And the thing too is always that wording on how they put this on the ballots. Where a lot of people, you hear it time and time again where is it yes that we're going to vote to say no, or is it no that we're going to, or vote no for no, or yes for no? That there's a lot of, they can really, dress this horse in a lot of different ways to make it look something. But I can't believe, watch TV sometimes and I see these commercials. It really pissed me off was watching this retired captain from one of the police departments.
Yeah.
That's and he's probably a big hippie from the 60s that's all excited. That wants to relive his childhood again. And it's don't get me started.
Maybe it's been a night.
Maybe I have to think twice about being there. Thank you for your support. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thanks for the support for the fundraiser and everything.
Before you leave, the Westwoods meeting, what time is that?
6:30.
6:30, right?
Thank you.
On the 13th.
On the 13th, 6:30.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Great job last week.
Appreciate it.
Good morning, Glenn.
Morning. How are we all doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. This one we're requesting for unpaid medical leave for Joe. He's starting to slowly come around, so this will give him another 6 months unpaid. Will be on our books. And that's following the county policy to cover the situation.
Page 6.12. Any questions?
The Maintenance Department is requesting the Board approve an unpaid medical leave of absence for Joe Muga, Senior Trades Mechanic, effective September 25th, 2015 through March 25th, 2016, or upon return to work pursuant to the Geauga County Personnel Policy, Section 6, page 6.12.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner White?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
8-5.
Jerry.
Hi, Jerry. Good morning. How are you? Good. So how you falling in to the job? You enjoying it? It's going pretty good.
There's good days and bad days.
Yeah.
What's today?
Yeah,
Too early.
Today's a good day so far.
It's too early.
It's that, that realizing, more responsibility and
Yeah.
the little things that I didn't have to worry about before and I have to worry about.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of good ideas. He and I have talked about some initiatives he wants to follow, so stuff will be coming in for you guys.
Yeah, we'll have, I'm working on a little presentation for during the budget meeting too, just kind of go over, we normally have always done the 5-year plan. I know you're asking everybody else to do the 5-year plan. One of the things I wanted to do was more like a 10 to 20 year strategic plan for where we want to take the department. And some of the things we've been seeing, and one of the things is what's on our agenda right now, but where the older system that we have are starting to rear their ugly head on some of the issues. So this is one of them where we're the sewer line that was put in Hawksmoor when that subdivision went in was put in on the hillside, and that hillside has been constantly sliding away. The township has been dealing with the road. The township and the county engineer have been dealing with the road issues. Our sewer line's in that hillside. What we want to do is get it out of the hillside. So if that hillside does slide away, it's not taking our sewer line with it and put it on flip it to the other side of the road. So this is approving the bid that was opened last week for 2 weeks ago for $99,700 to Platform Cement Incorporated to do that work.
The Department of Water Resources is requesting the board award the bid to Platform Cement Incorporated for the Hawksmoor Way Sanitary Sewer Realignment Project in the amount of $99,700 as they represented the lowest and best bid.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Right. You might be interested in a policy that I saw, or a procedure I saw in Italy when I was there. I was right down a train. Used a toilet there, and when I flushed the toilet, it just opened up and went right onto the tracks. And so, I don't know. Maybe they're ahead of us.
Maybe.
In thinking, I'm not sure.
I think Bob Weisbach might have a problem.
But I'm thinking, Europe is all about saving the world and climate and all that kind of stuff. And this is the process. I thought it was very unique approach.
I
will talk to Bob next time. See if we can get away.
Thompson.
Yes.
What's happening out there?
They are trying to find the last leak that they have. It's a small leak, and it's almost they're literally having to dig up a number of different areas to find that one little leak.
Because it's a vacuum-based system, so.
But
Turn the vacuum on high and see when the earth falls in. That's where it's at.
Well, actually, that is one of the things is to help find it is to put water on the ground and see where it's
sucked into the.
But even that though, it's still you're still looking.
Well, yeah, it'll narrow it down to an acre.
Yeah, because water finds the path of least resistance. So but it goes down and it goes over 50 feet before it gets down to that point.
What about some of the other issues?
Those will be addressed. Yeah, because right now we get the system up and running, and then we can start doing.
Yeah, it's a priority thing. The first thing is you got to leak.
Yeah. Well, and it doesn't make sense to spend the time and money to do the surface repairs when you're going to have to come back and dig it up to get you guys.
There's been a little angst expressed by a few people because the final landscaping hasn't been done to cover it because until you got all the leaks, there's no point in doing that.
Yeah, they had to dig up the whole town, and people are worried that the bend grass isn't coming in quick enough or whatever. It's like
there has been concerns expressed, but everybody's
some were legit.
Very good about and they understand why I go out and talk to them and explain it to them, and they understand it. And the latest is just that I guess last week or the week before, Sidley was doing some blasting in their quarry, and they apparently didn't do the way they were supposed to do it, and it caused some issues with some of the houses where they knocked stuff off of shelves and things like that. So the latest one was just kind of one of our future customers expressing a concern about what happens when they have this, and is that going to cause an effect to the sewer line? And I couldn't honestly answer them and say no, it's not, because you never know what's going to happen with that once you start shaking the ground. But whatever would have happened with the vacuum system would have happened with the gravity system too. So
the town's built on a fault line, isn't it?
That I don't know.
I'm pretty sure there's a fault line runs out that way.
Yeah, thanks, Jerry.
Yep, thank you.
The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board will approve and execute Resolution Number 15-139 honoring the 2015 Chapman Award winner Deborah F. O'Connor.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier? Commissioner Claypool?
Aye.
Okay. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the amended 2015 budget hearing schedule that includes switching Planning Commission and OSU Extension, moving the engineer to October 20th at 2:45, moving the Commissioners and Archives to October 20th at 3:15, and moving the dog warden to 2:45.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Aye.
Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board cancel session for Tuesday, October 13th, 2015.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Aye.
Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board move into executive session for the purpose of considering the purchase of property for public purposes.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
In
Who's going to be in
the
there?
additional board will be myself and Arnold Phillips.
Will there be any action taken?
I can't say for sure. I doubt it, but I can't say for sure.
That's just if somebody wants to stay.
Alrighty.
I'm sorry.
Sounds like I don't see anybody bleeding, so
No, don't believe it.
it wasn't that heavy, that bad a fight, huh?
Okay, we're back on video.
Wait, are we ready?
Record show.
I got 10:38.
Close enough.
The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board authorize the County Administrator to submit a sealed bid to Robert E. Mullen on behalf of the Board for purchase of the portion of parcel number 04-125600 located on the north side of Burton Windsor Road in accordance with ORC 1711.15.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Aye.
How big a parcel is that?
I think it's going to be in the neighborhood of 7 acres.
Well,
approximately plus or minus.
The parcel is 12 point something acres, and if you look at the map, look at the parcel, it's kind of bisected by Burton Windsor Road. And we're talking about the part on the north side of the road.
Okay. Okay.
So it's around between 6 and 7.
6, 7 acres.
Okay. Executive session. That's it for the meeting. There's going to be a budget hearing. Well, there's a series of budget hearings scheduled, which was published in this agenda.
Yeah.
And
Starting at 1.
There's going to be a NOACA meeting the 9th. There's going to be a Geauga County Fair Board annual meeting on the 8th. Our offices are going to be closed on the 12th. We're going to hold regular session. Nope, we canceled it on the 13th. Planning Commission on the 13th. Budget hearing, a series of other budget hearings. Family First Council on the 19th, regular session on the 20th, regular session on the 22nd, and the 27th, and that's it.
I move to adjourn.
So moved.